Well, good morning, everyone. We're glad you're here. It's good to see you on this kind of rainy kind of day. I don't know. I love the rain. I feel more excited and more energetic. But I'm glad you're here. And those of you that are joining us online, I'm so glad you're here this morning. And we have lots to celebrate, and we're going to start right now. So if you're in this room, you stand and join us, and let's celebrate.
This is the day that God has made. I will rejoice. This is the time to celebrate. Lift up every voice. Enter this moment as
Vision. How are you? Good morning. I'm here. I'm really here. And so are you. What a wonderful, wonderful morning. It is so good to be together. Welcome, Vision Online community. It's so good for you to tune in as well. We are here to celebrate, to know that there is one life. It is God. So what we do before we do anything else is pray, right? We bookend everything that we do in prayer, knowing and accepting that we live this one life of spirit. So join me in prayer right now. I know that there is one life. It is God's. It is whole, perfect, and complete. All of the qualities that are God qualities flow through us. They are us. They just absolutely flow into the conditions around us, changing our lives, transforming lives, our own and others. We know that there is one power, one presence, one energy, and that is spirit. And it is the co-creator of everything in our lives. We know and accept that we align with this power. We use it. We allow it to flow through us into form, transforming our lives and the lives of others. We give great thanks for this truth. We know it is all God, all good, all the time. And so it is. Amen. So good morning. I'm so glad you're here. It does look like a rainy day, doesn't it, James? Oh my gosh. Maybe you'll get a little rain where you are. I'm hoping. I heard that there was a lot of rain in San Diego the other day. Was there? Did everybody get a lot of rain? Did you? We got nothing where I am, nothing. We got a little spritz, that was it, just enough to make my car really dirty. You know how that is, right? Anyway, I hope we have a really nice rain. The trees will love it. The trees love it, the plants love it. It'd be great. And speaking of loving, I want to talk about practitioners because they love us up all the time, don't they? They know the truth for us. They pray with us and for us all year. If you have come with anything on your heart today, there is a prayer request form back on the prayer table. You can fill it in online. We have, when the website is up, I know that we have a prayer request form online you can fill out and submit to the practitioners. After the celebration today, you can meet with a practitioner one-on-one and get prayer support online. We're going to have, when we get our website up, I keep talking like the website's not up right now, but when it's up, there will be a meet and greet room afterwards that we have, right? That will be working. And we can meet with practitioners online. They'll send you into a little one-on-one prayer room. It's all good. It works, right? God's in charge, and all is well. I know this. So get prayer support. However and whenever and wherever you are, prayer support is right there, right where you are. And what we know is that prayer changes things. It absolutely does. It changes us. It changes the conditions around us. So wherever you are, get prayer support. The other thing I want to tell you is that you're welcome here. You know what that means, right? We have a guest packet. I think we do right here. Let me see if I have one. I do. Yay. We have guest packets. We hand them out for our guests. We have a saying on the front. We say it for ourselves to remind ourselves. We say it for you at home to remind you we're waiting for you to come back whenever you're ready. When COVID is behind us, when we're looking at it in the rearview mirror, we will all get together, really, honestly, and we'll just celebrate, right? We'll celebrate. In the meantime, let's say this to remind ourselves, to remind you at home, and just if you are a visitor, welcome. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. If you are a founding member and you've been here for years, welcome, and let's say it together, right? Whoever you are and wherever you are welcome here. You are safe and you are loved. Vision is a safe place to be. It is a safe place to come to. It is a safe place to know the truth for yourself and for each other as well. So now I'm going to turn it over to our celebration singers again. They're going to sing our centering song to prepare us for meditation. Thank you.
As we move into our time of meditation and prayer, let's just take a moment, encourage our own hearts to remember who we are.
God is breathing me, God is beating my heart, God is breathing me, God is breathing me, God
Good morning. My name is Marianne Downs Tanaka, and I am a licensed spiritual counselor here at Vision. So please take these quotations into your heart as we move into the silence and allow the tones of the bowl to bring you into and out of a 5-minute meditation. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world. Harriet Tubman. And from Ernest Holmes, let us daily say to ourselves, perfect God within me, perfect life within me, which is God, come forth into expression through me as that which I am. There is only one life, and that life is God, and that life is my life right here and right now. We are filled with God's stuff, as is the sun, the moon, the stars, our planet Earth, every animal, every tree. It is all God and all good, and I know I am one with that God that fills everything. And as I know it for myself, I know it for everyone here, for everyone out there. I know that we are one with God, and with that, I just claim all the good that has been gifted to us since forever. We are gifted with that joy, with that love, with that fullness of life, full of compassion, full of love, full of forgiveness, full of all life, all joy, all good, all love. How sweet it is to know this, to know that we are one. So I just claim that for everyone this day. I know that this day is blessed, this service is blessed. I know today that we hear wonderful music from our house band. We hear the wonderful voice of Eileen Haye. We hear the perfect words spoken by Patti, and we are uplifted with it all. This is good and very good. So I say thank you, God, for this day, for this service, for this life. I give it all over to God. I let it go. I let it be, and so it is.
We have an extra special guest singer today, one of Vision's own, and even our esteemed guest bass player here. The first words that she sang, he goes, wow, what a voice. Everybody says that when they hear Eileen. So please welcome Eileen Haye.
When I forget we are one, and I regret things that I've done, I go within my heart and soul. I start again, knowing I'm whole. Where I am right where I should be. As I fill my mind with peace, I feel it washing over me. God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. When things go When I lose my song, life breaks my heart. I go within my heart and soul and start again, knowing I'm whole. God is right here where I am. I am right where I should be. When I fill my mind with peace, I feel it washing over me. God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. In this moment, I am free.
Such beautiful music. Thank you, Eileen. Oh, I love it. Wow, we made it. We are at the end of September's theme, Reaching Higher. And have you felt that expansiveness? We're reaching higher. And today's talk is we've got this, because we do. We got this. We know the principles, and we align with them, and we allow them to flow through us. The principles do not evolve. The principles are eternal. We evolve, right? And so we got this. We know principle is eternal. We're the ones that evolve. And our evolution consists of constantly acquiring knowledge, leading to a more profound understanding of the principles, right? We can make better use of them. Those principles which are not evolving, but we are. As we expand our knowledge, as we expand our consciousness, as we grow, we are better able to align with these principles that then flow more efficiently, more fully through our lives and change our lives. And you know, there's lots of things that happen when we do this, right? And lots of people react in different ways. You know, sometimes when things go well, right? When things go well, we don't need God's help, right? A lot of people just like, yeah, no, that's all right. And here's the thing, though. We seldom realize that it is our spiritual nature and it is our spiritual practice working through us that is enabling things to go well. But we forget that part, right? Stuff's going on, you know, it's all going our way, right? And we forget God's in charge and all is well. And we sometimes just forget it and stuff like, you know, like that joke that I tell, the one about the parking lot. You know, the lady's driving up and down the aisle looking for a parking space, and she can't find one, and she finally goes, God, come on, help me here. And then a parking spot opens up right in front of her, right by the store, and she goes, never mind, I got it, right? Like, that's not God too, you know? So this is the thing. We forget a lot of times when stuff is going our way that God is in charge. When things go poorly, right? When things go poorly, someone, not me, is to blame, right? Somebody else, when my life goes awry, something is up, somebody's to blame here, but it's not me. And you know, of course, we go off track in a totally opposite way too, don't we? Some of us, when everything is going well, we give all the praise to God, right? It's not me, it's God. When everything's going well, when I made the touchdown, you hear that a lot on the touchdown, right? Thank you, Jesus. You know, everything's going well, it's all God. But when stuff is going poorly, then all of a sudden it's like, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. I messed up. I'm not worthy. You know, all that stuff. We take all that on ourselves. Fill in the blank, whatever. I'm not whatever enough. We make sure, you know, we put it all on us. We take all the blame and we don't put it on God, right? So we go off track a lot. We miss the mark a lot on this stuff. Because, you know, well, one of the reasons why is we want to avoid thinking God's punishing us, right? Particularly when things are not going well, we want to take it on ourselves because we don't want to feel like, well, look what God did to me now. Things are going bad and it's all God's fault. When we keep out picturing the same boss, the same boyfriend, the same situation, the same whatever, over and over and over again, using different people to play those roles, God is not punishing us. What's happening is we're using the same approach and hoping for different results, right? You know that old saying about, the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Well, Emily Maritain said this. She said, "You're not stuck. You're just committed to certain patterns of behavior because they helped you in the past. Now those behaviors have become more harmful than helpful. And the reason you cannot move forward is because you keep applying the same old formula to the new level in your life. Change the formula and get a different result." And that's what we have to do because, going back to the beginning, right, because we're evolving. So what's worked for us in the past doesn't work for us now. We need to find a new way of approaching our challenges and everything and know that we're taking responsibility. That whole, why does this keep happening to me thing? Why is this happening? Well, mostly because you keep putting yourself in the same situations, right? I remember years ago, somebody asked Terry Cole Whitaker, why do I keep dating the same type of guy? Why do I keep dating the same type of guy? And she looked at her and said, because you keep giving him your phone number. It's like, stop it. And this is not God trying to teach us a lesson. Right? This idea that, we're in class and we're trying to be taught lessons, and it's not the thing. God doesn't, it's not about lessons. If anything, I believe that we attract similar situations to ourselves to understand what residual belief in error is still within us. Right? Error, evil, whatever you want to call it. Or, Emma Curtis Hopkins called it evil. We refer to it as error, right? She talked about the devil. The devil is simply our lowest thoughts about our situation in our life. So if anything, we keep attracting similar situations to ourselves to see if there is any residual of error within us regarding that situation. When the same stuff keeps happening to you over and over again, you get the opportunity to look at it and go, where am I not seeing the truth about myself? Where am I believing in an error that's outpicturing as this same type of situation? We will not move on, and we get to have another look. We get to have another look. We get to have another look. You know how much this goes on, right? Until we reconcile that there is no error in spirit, therefore there cannot be any error in us. There is no evil in spirit. There is no error in spirit. Therefore, there cannot be any in us. Look, I used to be afraid of heights. Now, afraid just doesn't even cover it. I was just terrified of heights. And I didn't stay there in the fear, because we're not meant to live in fear. We're not meant to collect fears. Oh, I'm afraid of snakes. Oh, I can't look at barking dogs. Oh, I'm afraid of this. Oh, I'm afraid of that. We're not here to live fear. We're here to live free. That song. That beautiful song, we're here to be free, right? So I was terrified of heights, and so I did really weird things to try to break through that. There's a wonderful suspension bridge. Did anybody know that one? It's like on Spruce, is it? Down in San Diego proper. Gosh, it's beautiful. And it's just at street level. It's lovely. And you walk out on it, and the canyon drops out from under you. So all of a sudden, you're going from being street level, which is okay. I could handle that. I was afraid of heights. There was no height here. But once you start walking and the ground falls away, there was I could just, right? It just takes my breath away. So I did that a couple of times to get used to it. Then we went on a hot air balloon ride. That was even more fun. Oh my God, 1,000 feet in the air, right? Terrified. I was I had a grip on that basket. I white knuckled the whole thing. But I did it. Working through the fear. And then the last thing I did was start skydiving. Who in their right mind departs a plane when it's working? Really, when you think about it. But it was great, and it was wonderful, and it got me over this fear of heights. after 2 or 3 times. Anyway, the idea is I kept going and kept going and kept going. You confront your fears until you realize there is no fear in God. There is no fear in God, and that's what we are. We are the incarnation of Spirit itself, seeking an experience through us. So I gave God a good time. We jumped out of an airplane together, all of us, you know. There cannot be any fear in me. I am Spirit, incarnated, in form. There is no fear in God. Can you think of God being afraid of anything? There is no fear in God. God created everything. So there cannot be any fear in me. Fear is a liar. Fear wants to keep you stuck in your small little life and not break out of it. Because why? Because we're afraid of losing these bodies, these little meat sacks we're running around in? This is just your vehicle for this lifetime. That's all it is. Your spirit moves on from here. Your spirit is eternal. It is ageless and deathless and birthless and eternal. This was never meant to stay no more than the Sears Tower was, you know? It's temporary. Fear is what keeps us stuck, what keeps us small, what keeps us from creating the life that we deserve, the life of spirit and form. And Ernest Holmes said this about denial, because that's what that is. That's a denial, right? That there is no fear in God is a denial. And he said this: denial is the mental act of knowing any negative condition need not be. That's it. Any negative condition need not be. Denial clears the way for the realization of truth. It is the wiping away of wrong reasoning. When we are in fear, we are reasoning incorrectly. He goes on to say this: it is the clearing of the ground, a dredging of the mental channels preparatory to the building of a positive, constructive affirmation. Don't stop with the denial. It is only the preliminary step. Deny the false and affirm the real. The need of denial ceases as thought rises to real spiritual perception. So the denial, and the denials like Emma Curtis Hopkins taught, the denials that Ernest Holmes taught us, that is a part of the step of this spiritual realization. But it's the beginning step, and we have to move on to the affirmations, and we have to move on to the declarations. We have to move on to the demonstrations. It's all connected. We can start with the denial. There is no fear in God, therefore there cannot be in me. Because that's their little residual. When I talk about why we keep manifesting the same stuff over and over and over again, because there's that residual of fear. That residual is like, yeah, this is all good and all great for everybody, but not me. I'm the exception to God's rule. You know, I can be afraid of this. I can stay small. I can stay afraid because that's who I am, you know. No, it's not who you are. It's not who I am. We're not here to be small and be limited by our fears. We are here to break through them. And we do that by starting with the denial. There is no fear in God, so therefore there cannot be in me. But we don't stop there. We get to the affirmation part. So then you have to use your affirmation. God and I are a majority. I can do anything. I can jump out of that damn plane. Oops, sorry. You know what I mean. Because there is no fear in God, there is no fear in God. That's a ridiculous statement. Right? So we go from the denial to I can. God and I are a majority. And then we take that action step. We take that action step and we realize there is no error in our action. There is no error of fear in us. Right? It's like there is no, you know that whole get thee behind me, Satan? Satan is the low thought. Satan is the error thought. So we get it behind us. We move past it. We take the action step that proves we are spirit informed. Nothing can stop us. We got this. We got this. And then when our affirmation becomes a declaration, that means it comes from a changed mind. We keep telling our affirmations over and over and over again because we want to believe them, even if we don't think we believe them, even if we doubt them, even if we're afraid to believe them. We keep saying them over and over again because it changes our mind. The affirmations change our mind. The declaration comes from the changed mind. You see how that works? The declaration comes, we have changed our minds. That is behind us. The fear thought is phony. The fear thought is the liar, and I have transcended that. Then I speak the declaration. I'm speaking Spirit's truth through me, as me, into the world. We have changed. We have changed. We're no longer that. We are born anew. We are transformed. Be ye transformed, right? By the renewing of your mind. Mark 2:22. And no one puts new wine into old wineskins, or else the new wine bursts the wineskins and the wine is spilled. And isn't that alcohol abuse? Holy moly. Anyway, the wine is spilled and the wineskins are ruined. Everything is messed up. New wine must be put into new wineskins. That's us. We become new because we have that new thought within us. So we must become new. We evolve. We become new through this evolution, through this new thought that now we absolutely believe to be true about ourselves. We outgrow our old, limited idea of who we are and what we're capable of. By having this new thought, we become more of what Spirit knows us to be. Ernest Holmes in the textbook said, to affirm the presence of God is better than to deny the presence of evil. Now remember, evil, this is the way they spoke in those days, but if you think evil, think error. Think of the word error. However, if the presence of evil persists in making its appearance, it is sometimes well to deny it, to know it is neither person, place, nor thing, that it does not belong to us, that it cannot operate in or through or around us. It is neither cause, medium, nor effect. It is neither imagination, idea, nor reflection. It is neither visible nor invisible. It cannot emanate from God, and it does not emanate from the human. There can be no error in God. There can be no false thought in God. There cannot be any fear in God, so there cannot be in us, because we are that. We are made in the image and after the likeness. We are God experiencing form. So whatever we believe to be true of God is us. And we have to believe that God is errorless, right? That's it. That's all God is, all of those qualities. That's what God is. There is no fear. There is no error. Error thoughts are nothing. They are a no thing. Error thoughts have as much power as we give them. And sometimes we give them a whole lot. Sometimes we give them our whole life. Sometimes our whole life is dedicated to being afraid. Afraid of the job, afraid of the boss, afraid of the in-laws, afraid of life, afraid of saying yes, afraid of success, afraid of failure. Figure it. I mean, think about it. Afraid of medicine, afraid of doctors, afraid of hospitals, afraid of masks, afraid of injections, afraid of vaccines, afraid of... I could go on and on. We could have a whole afraid of conversation all day long. Error thoughts only have the power they give them. They're nothing. They are a no thing. They do not exist in spirit. And the stories that we tell, oh my gosh, the stories that we tell ourselves to frighten us? Oh my God, you got to hear the stories we tell, right? Stories about the other, stories about lack, stories about limitations, stories about there not being enough, stories about getting old, stories about, God, I don't know, our bad knee, our bum this, it's like we tell all these stories all the time just to frighten us. When you tell your story, you are building a case for why you cannot have what you want. That's all. You are building a case for why you cannot have it the way you want it. And remember last week we said we must name our good? Good is our God is our good. We must name our good as our good is our God. Our God is our good. There is good for me and I ought to have it. Remember? There is good for me and I ought to have it. My good is my, and then you fill that in, whatever that is, right? There is good for me and I ought to have it, Emma said. My good is my perfect health. My good is my perfect health. So my God is perfect health. or perfect abundance, perfect joy. My good is my whatever. Good is my well-being. My good is my God, and my good is, and you fill in the blank. But here's what happens. What happens when we make that claim, right? God is my good. God is the good that I am. There is good in the world, and I ought to have it. My good is my well-being, or my good is my joy. And I look around, and it's like, well, it's not here. It's not there. It's not out there. Where is it? Where is it? Where is my good? My good is, and we look around, and we don't see it. And we get sad, maybe. We're disappointed. We're doubtful. We get doubtful. And then we look around and it's not there. We think, oh, I don't want to look like a fool. I don't want to say something and it's like, look, it's not true because it's not there. I'm just fooling myself. We keep looking at the absence and thinking there's truth there. And there is no truth in the absence. The good hasn't arrived. It's logistical. The good is already there. It is in the mind of God. But we look at the absence, and then we start concentrating on the absence, and we start giving the absence the power of a thing when it is a nothing. Right? It's a nothing. We keep looking at the absence and thinking it's truth, but it's not. We must go back to principle. Start with the desire and move forward instead of starting with the problem and trying to fix it. Start with the desire and move forward, and not with the problem and trying to fix it. Ernest Holmes in the Science of Mind textbook said, a person in our field, and I love the way he says that, and that's all of us, right? Ministers, practitioners, congregants, members, everybody practicing the science of mind, people in our field. A person in our field would be deceiving himself if he refused to recognize that something could be wrong with the body or the mind, even though nothing can be wrong with spirit. That would be saying there is peace when there is no peace. And we must avoid that assertion. So what he's saying is, don't deny a reality. You got a broken foot, you're not going to say, it's not broken, You don't deny the reality, but you know a greater truth for yourself. You know healing is your birthright. You know that God is the only power and presence in your body, and that healing is guaranteed. So we don't lie to ourselves, like Ernest Holmes said. You don't say peace when there's no peace, but you know a greater truth. You absolutely know a greater truth in that area. Yes, something might be amiss with my body, something might be amiss with my mind, but nothing is ever amiss with my spirit. Nothing is ever amiss. Nothing is ever wrong in spirit. Ernest Holmes goes on to say this: we do not deny man's experiencing discord or dis-ease. What we affirm is that experience is the belief in form, and the disintegration of that belief will produce a corresponding disintegration of the form. See how that happens? Everything begins in mind. So when we go back to principle and we dissolve the idea, we dissolve the false thought, there can be wrong, there can be anything amiss, then what happens is in the form, it dissolves away as well. Everything begins in mind. Everything. Everything begins as a thought. The Word. First there was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was great, and the Word becomes form. When we change the Word, then we change the form. One leads to the other. And so we start by calling out those denials. And Emma, I love this, Emma had denials, right? And she's the one who taught Ernest Holmes. And so she had the denials. She said the second lesson in truth gives us reason for these denials. There is no evil, right? Now think, error. Think the word error. There is no evil. There is no matter. I love that. That one will send you home thinking for the rest of the day. There is no matter. We'll talk about that later. There is no absence. There is no absence of life, substance, or intelligence. There is nothing to hate. There is no sin, sickness, or death. Spirit is perfectly whole. God is perfectly whole in its entirety, in every place, and it shows up everywhere. So there's nothing lacking everywhere. So we start with these denials. There is no fear in God. There is no sin, sickness, or death in God. We begin, there is no matter in God. It's just an outpicturing, a temporary thing. This thing is only temporary. We begin with those denials, right? Those are universal denials. That's what Emma called universal denials, and Holmes called universal denials. Then there are personal denials, aren't there? I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I'm blah, 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 blah. Whatever they are. You have to face those as well as the false beliefs that they are. And then we have situational denials, right? Oh, I can't do this. I don't have enough education. I don't have enough whatever. I can't do this. Oh, I can't heal this, whatever. Those are situational denials. Something's wrong. I'm not good enough. I'm not up to it. We must call out the denials. They're only part of the process. We call them out. We confront them. We say, God, there is no whatever. There is no. We call out our limitations because we're putting those limitations on God. I have to realize it. We're putting our limitations on God. When we say, I can't, what are we saying? We're saying Spirit can't. When we're saying, I'm afraid of, we're saying God's afraid of. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Then we claim our affirmations, and then we believe those affirmations after we claim them over and over and over and over to however long it takes. We believe those affirmations, they become our declarations. They become our declarations of life, and then we demonstrate that. We got this. We got this. We can do this. Ernest Holmes said, daily we have to reverse our position in the law, knowing we are no longer subject to the human race suggestion of lack or limitation or want or fear, knowing Spirit is with us and for us and operating through us, knowing all good is ours, and specifically declaring that the particular good we desire is now manifest. Now manifest. In the mind of God it is. We couldn't even have that idea if it weren't already in the mind of God, because our mind is immersed in the mind of God. So we have that idea of good for ourselves that we ought to have. God already knows. Yeah, you're right. You ought to have it. Okay, so what are you doing to keep it from you? Get rid of that. There's your denial, right? There's your denial statement. Denials are not truth. Truth is God. God is good. God is the good we ought to have. That's truth. In the Science of Mind text, Ernest Holmes writes, in conclusion, I love that. This is on page 423, by the way. In conclusion, what the world needs is spiritual conviction followed by spiritual experience. I would rather see a student of this science prove the principles than to have him repeat all the words of wisdom that have ever been uttered. It is far easier to teach truth than it is to practice it. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to practice it. We're here to prove the principles. We don't just get together on Sunday morning to talk about this stuff and then go back to doing the same old thing the same old way, right? You've outgrown that. Practice it, try it, use it, prove the principles to yourselves. Throw the book out the window, like Ernest Holmes said. Throw the book out the window. Prove they work. Practice them, try them. We can do this. We can do this. We can demonstrate peace. We can demonstrate love. We can demonstrate joy, all the wholeness that we desire, the wisdom. We can demonstrate all of this to fulfill whatever situation in which we find ourselves. We got this. Thank you.
Thank you, Patti. That was such a great talk, and I love how this song goes so well with that. It's all one mind. drink from the river with a thimble. You can drink from the river with a cup. You can open the pipeline and let it flow through. Love is always there to fill you up. Knock and the door will be opened. Seek and you will find. Ask and it will be given to you. That's the power of mind, the power of mind. Keep your thoughts on what you want. Lay your burdens down. Build yourself a consciousness that's ready to receive the moment you believe. Knock and the door will be opened. Seek and you will find. Ask and it will be given to you. That's the power of mind. Oh, knock and the door will be opened. Seek and you will find. Ask and it will be given to you. That's the power of mind, the power of mind, power of mind, the power of mind.
I love that Spirit's in charge and all is well. I mean, the perfect songs are always picked. I don't do that. I just let the performers pick their own songs and Mark to arrange them and get them all perfect. And it's always the exact right song, isn't it, for the talk? It's just amazing how that happens. I love that universal intelligence that we're all immersed in. Okay, anyway, so now is our time for contribution. This is the conscious circulation that we are jumping into the river of God's abundance. We are here, we accept and we give and we remain in the flow of God's good all the time. When we consciously remember it, we also are giving our attention to it, and we know that what we give our attention to grows. So that is our good, and we know our good is infinite. So let us just do this together. Let's go within to pray. If you are giving, if you give online, thank you so much. If you're giving right here in the room, thank you so much. It is always gratitude for all of the good we receive and then all of the good we pass on to stay in that flow. So let us pray right now, knowing that God is the source. God is the source of all of our good. Wherever it comes from, however it flows into our experience, whether it's paychecks or residuals or stocks and bonds and whatever, however the good flows into our experience, we know it's all God. It is all God all the time. And that as we pass on our good to those people, places, and things that support us spiritually. We know we stand tall in the river of God's abundance. We accept gratefully, we give graciously, we remain in the flow, knowing that God's good is infinite, that a quality of God is abundance, and that we experience it to the degree that we align with this truth. We absolutely embody it, we demonstrate it, and we become it. I give great thanks for all of the good, knowing all good is God, and so it is. Amen.
God.
love our celebration singers. Aren't they wonderful? Thank you so much. Yay. Just lovely. So remember to pass on your demonstrations of answered prayer. I didn't get one this week, but I'm looking forward to next week. So please do that. Email me. Let me know those demonstrations of answered prayer in your life, because I know that they happen around us and through us and as us all the time. Anytime that there is a correction in our conditions, we're like, that's the miracle right there, right there. Big ones, little ones, in between ones. Just wake up to them, just wake up to them, because when they demonstrate, you're like, there it is. There's my answered prayer, and I wasn't even paying attention. So do that. Email me. Let me know so that I can share it with the group. And now you know what time it is. It is time for the last word. Bye, Johnny Kirker.
I'm still not getting the joke. The girl from Ipanema, what is that all about? Here I am, the guy from San Diego. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody online. So today we're continuing our virtual meet and greet. Join us. The website is back up. We were having some issues this morning. Join us by getting on the link on the website and see us in the virtual meet and greet. We've got a practitioner available for one-on-one prayer if you want to be there. Coffee Connection continuing Monday through Friday, 8:30 in the morning. Join us for that too. Got a cute little community, not cute, good little community, great community, led by Reverend Lori Sheets. So join us for that at 8:30 in the morning. Foundations class. Reverend Patti, we can still join, can't we not? Yes, you can still join in the class. If you want to join Foundations, Reverend Patti started it last week. So if you want to join into it, you can. Also, the Universal Christ book study led by Mary Ann Downs Tanaka. There's still time to join that. Yes, so you can see the links on the website as well. So Patty's class, the Foundations, Reverend Patti is Monday. Mary Ann Downs Tanaka is on Tuesday. So join the links in those. We've got a couple of special events coming up in October. First of all, Andy Anderson and Nathan Fry are going to be in concert with us on Tuesday, October 12th. So we're going to have a good time with them. So join us for that. Also, we've got Darlene Koldenhoven who's going to be with us. Now, Darlene was with us a couple of times over the years. Mark is going to tell us a little bit about that. Mark, tell us a little bit about Darlene.
So, Darlene is an amazing, she was the #1 call for film vocals for many, many years. She won a Grammy with this incredible jazz group, Claire Fisher, 2+2. And if you saw Yanni at the Acropolis and the high soprano, that's Darlene. She's a former housemate of mine. And this is Darlene's gig. She was the backup singer for Barbra Streisand in her stadium concerts. So we're talking, so she has started writing piano pieces too. So she'll be singing a couple songs on that day, but she's written these beautiful, amazing piano songs, whichever she applies her mind to. She's the complete embodiment of the science of mind principles. Literally, I've never seen anyone who works it as perfectly as she does. So you can come and hear the piano music for the concert, and then she's going to be our soloist that Sunday morning. So
and then she's going to do a workshop too. So we got it's Darlene Koldenhoven weekend that weekend. So a couple things going on in October. So it's going to be really cool. We'll have tickets available on the website if you want to join any of those, the workshop or the concert. Next week, Reverend Patti Paris will be back. Her talk title is Take a Deep Dive. We're going to go swimming. And we have Joe Rathburn with the house band. And I want to give a big shout out to Eileen Haye today. Thank you, Eileen. That was wonderful. You know, we aren't singing in the choir this year right now because of what's going on. So we've asked a lot of our choir members to come and be a part of. So you'll see them as we go along. But Eileen, you know, we started with a bang with that. I also want to thank Jim Reeves for standing in today with us on our bass. Jimmy Reeves does a lot of stuff on the Folky Monkey, so we enjoy him a lot too. So thanks, everybody.
Now we're going to stand up. We're going to read our affirmations. We're going to say them. We're just going to ground in the truth of them. We're going to let that energy flow through us as us. You ready? Are they up there? Woohoo! Okay, let's say it together. I claim my power and move beyond all limitations. There is plenty for everyone, and we bless and prosper each other. I have it within me to solve any challenges that come my way. Okay, we're talking two. Yeah, two sounds really powerful. Let's say it again. I want to hear that emphasis. I want to hear that power flowing through you. You ready? There is plenty for everyone, and we bless and prosper each other. Perfect. Let us go within in prayer, knowing that this is truth. It is truth of God. It is truth of us. That there is plenty everywhere, that God is source and God is infinite. We must understand these principles and allow them to flow through us as we align with them, embody them, believe them, demonstrate them. It changes our lives. It changes our consciousness. We grow in truth, in beauty, in joy, in wisdom, in peace, in power, in all of those qualities of God. We know that we are that which thou art. We give great thanks for this, and so it is. Amen.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. 'Cause I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. 'Cause I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Not my way.